Shalom, fellow seekers. Today, we embark on a profound exploration of an enigmatic force in nature whose origin traces back to the mystical left side of the cosmic spectrum. This force is Samael, a being regarded by some as a supernal angel, while others perceive him as a fearsome demonic entity. In the realms of mysticism, Samael's identity is steeped in duality and mystery, representing aspects of power, desire, and balance, forces that can be both constructive and destructive, depending on their manifestation. Throughout history and esoteric traditions, Samael has been revered, feared, and misunderstood. Join me as we delve into his ancient origins, uncover his role within the cosmic framework, and examine the ways he influences our world, both spiritually and materially. This journey will bridge the sacred and the shadow, peeling back the layers of legend to reveal truths hidden in plain sight. There is a saying, there is a Samael, and there is a Samael, but not all are the same. The descent of Samael. It is taught, envy, lust, and the pursuit of honor drive a person out of the world. When the ministering angels stood before the Holy One, "Blessed be he," they asked, "Master of all worlds, what is man that you are mindful of him? He is like a fleeting breath, and no one on earth rules as he does." The Holy One replied, "What you praise me for in the heavens, he declares below on earth. Moreover, can you stand and name all the creatures of creation?" The angels stood in silence, unable to do so. At that moment, Adam rose and named all the creatures as it is written. And the man gave names to all the animals. Genesis 2:20. When the ministering angels saw this, they said, "If we do not devise a plan to make man sin before his Creator, we cannot prevail against him." Samael, the great prince of the heavens, whose attendants and seraphim are creatures with 6 wings, while Samael himself has 12, took his forces and descended. The schemes of Samael. The disciples asked their teacher, "Tell us how this came to be." The teacher explained, "Samael, the wicked one, conspired with his armies against his Creator. For it was said by the Holy One, 'Let man have dominion over the fish of the sea and the birds of the heavens,' and these include the angels." Samael wondered, how can we cause man to sin and drive him away from the presence of the Holy One? So, he descended with all his legions. When Samael beheld all the creatures that the Holy One had made, he sought one who could partner with him in his wickedness. He found none more suited than the serpent, as it is written, "Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field." Genesis 3:1. The serpent's form was as large as a camel, and Samael ascended and rode upon it. Meanwhile, the Torah cried out, "Samael, the world has only just been created, and now you seek to disturb its order." Yet, Samael persisted. All the serpent's actions and words came directly from Samael's will. Samael appeared as a shadow upon the serpent, imbuing it with strength and authority. Before man sinned, the letters of the alphabet were perfectly aligned in the world, forming sacred configurations. But once Samael descended and merged with the serpent, their forces became one. Together, they ensnared Eve and brought fear and death into the world. Samael's fall, the Holy One descended 10 times, diminishing the divine radiance, to cast Samael and his legions down from their heavenly sanctity. At the moment Samael was hurled from the heavens, he clung to the wings of Michael, attempting to drag him down as well. Yet the Holy One intervened, freeing Michael from Samael's grip. Because of this, Michael is known as Palet, the Delivered One. Samael's aliases. Throughout mystical and esoteric traditions, Samael is known by many names and titles, each shedding light on a different aspect of his complex and shadowed nature. These aliases reveal his roles, his characteristics, and the way he is perceived across various dimensions of existence. Adam Belial, a worthless man. This title reflects Samael's connection to chaos and corruption, emphasizing his role as a force that disrupts divine order and leads humanity astray. Oyev, the enemy. Samael is the adversary of mankind in the divine will, often opposing the forces of light and righteousness. El-Aher, a foreign god, a title hinting at idolatry and the false worship Samael inspires, drawing people away from true divinity. El-Zar, the strange god. Similar to El-Aher, this emphasizes his alien nature and his role in luring humanity into spiritual infidelity. Hamu, donkey, representing his stubbornness and unrefined nature. This alias portrays Samael as a base and earthly being, contrasted with divine purity. Herem, the bond one. Samael is eternally exiled from the sanctity of the divine realm, embodying separation and rejection. Hoshek, darkness. As a personification of spiritual and moral darkness, this name signifies his opposition to the light of creation. Yezer Hara, the evil inclination. Samael is intimately tied to humanity's inner struggles, representing the force that tempts and corrupts the soul. Kaved, heavy. Reflecting the burdens he places on humanity, Samael weighs down the spirit with sin and despair. Kelev, dog. A symbol of loyalty twisted into servitude, Samael is seen as both a servant of divine justice and a predator seeking souls to devour. Met, death. Known as the angel of death, Samael carries out the decree of mortality, severing the ties between body and soul. Sakin Pagum, a defective blade. This title underscores his imperfection and his role in bringing harm rather than healing. Ivet Ra, evil servant. Samael is both a servant of divine justice and a rebel, executing punishment but with malice and pride. Avon, sin. He embodies sin itself, becoming a symbol of transgression and separation from the divine. Arayot, sexual immorality. Samael is associated with forbidden desires and the corruption of sacred relationships. Aral, the uncircumcised, representing spiritual impurity and defiance against divine commandments. This title highlights his opposition to holiness. Rav HaHuvel, the master of destruction. As a leader of chaos, Samael steers the ship of ruin, wrecking creation and leading astray. Rasha, the wicked one. A direct acknowledgement of his malevolent nature, Samael embodies wickedness in its purest form. Sheker, falsehood. The great deceiver, Samael thrives on lies and illusions, drawing humanity into error and confusion. The dominion of Samael. Samael is the soul to the soul, originating from the left side of the cosmic framework. He is the chariot of impurity, the embodiment of the unholy, and the chief of all adversaries. Samael the wicked is at the head of all the Satans, commanding legions of chaos and destruction. His realm and authority. There are 7 heavenly realms, and in the 3rd realm, the river of fire, Nahar Dinur, flows. It is here that Samael the guilty is found, presiding over a domain steeped in judgment and retribution. In Gehinnom, hell, Samael serves as a prince of torment. One of his allies is named Kipod, and the second is Negdisniel. Samael, the 3rd and mightiest among them, rules with terror. He is described as a unique angel, different in form from all others, towering with a height spanning a 500-year journey. His waist is girded in 2 places, and his body, from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head, is covered in fiery eyes, symbols of his unrelenting nature. He is Samael, the taker of souls, the tree of death. There exists a tree below, whose branches, roots, trunk, and fruit are all infused with the poison of death. This tree is Samael, its essence entwined with destruction and decay. The prohibitions of the Torah, lo ta'aseh, the do-nots, sustain Samael. Those who transgress them feed his power. Samael and his princess Samael and his 70 princes derive no benefit from the light of the heavens. Instead, they draw their sustenance from the shadow cast by Metatron, the great celestial mediator. Samael is the king over the arrogant and the insolent, his princes embodying pride and defiance. The corruption of justice. When judgment is perverted and truth is not upheld, it is as though Samael has been granted dominion over the world. The false judge casts truth to the ground, dragging the divine presence, Shekhinah, with it, and Samael rises alongside his consort, the abyss itself. In a place where lies prevail over truth, Samael establishes Gehinnom as his domain, ruling with his counterpart, the infernal bride. Only where true judgment is upheld can the reign of lies be shattered, diminishing Samael's grip and restoring balance to creation. Samael, the accuser. Rabbi Yossi taught, Michael and Samael are like a defense attorney and a prosecutor standing in the heavenly court. They both stand before the divine presence, Shehitna, where Samael acts as the accuser, Mekatreg, while Michael advocates on behalf of the people of Israel, speaking in their defense. Samael steps forward to present his accusations, but Michael silences him. Why is this so? As it is written, I will hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people. Psalms 85:9. Michael ensures that the voice of peace and mercy prevails over the voice of accusation. The symbolism of Samael's arrows. Samael is also described as the Ben Keshet, son of the bow, in Job 41:20, where it is said, the arrow will not make him flee. This refers to Samael, who hurls fiery arrows of accusation against the people of Israel. Meanwhile, his counterpart, Lilith the wicked, is likened to a javelin in the same verse. He laughs at the rattling of the javelin. Together, Samael and Lilith represent the twin forces of accusation and destruction, working to challenge the righteous and disrupt divine harmony. Samael, the patron of Esau. Samael is the fiery ruler of Gehinnom and the appointed guardian, Apotropos, over the nation of Esau, representing the forces of Edom. Just as the serpent, Nahash, is appointed over the nation of Ishmael, so too is Samael identified as the overseer of Edom. The spiritual hierarchy reflects this duality. The serpent symbolizes Ishmael's level, while Samael is referred to as the Caliph, dog, symbolizing Edom's base and predatory nature. Samael as the protector of Edom. Samael is the celestial advocate of Edom, ensuring its prolonged success and power. As it is said, there is a wicked one who prospers in his wickedness. This refers to Samael, who grants Edom peace and tranquility, shielding it despite its sins. The princes of Esau, known as the chiefs of Edom, derive their strength from Amalek, and above Amalek is Samael, whose essence combines labor, Amal, deception, honor, and falsehood, Mirma. Through his influence, Samael leads humanity astray, distancing them from the Holy One. Blessed be he. The name Amalek itself holds profound significance. The letter Kuf from Amalek signifies the first letter of Kadosh, holy, which Samael seeks to profane. The letters Samek Mem are drawn from Samael, reflecting his essence of impurity. The letters Nun Het Sin form Nahas, serpent, further linking Samael to deceit and sin. The battle against Samael and his forces. King David, the righteous warrior, took 5 stones to correspond to the 5 books of the Torah, symbolizing divine truth and law. With these, he struck down the Philistine, who embodies the Yetzer Hara, evil inclination. This Philistine is none other than Samael, who appears as Amalek, the Philistines, the serpent, and ultimately the angel of death. In every manifestation, whether as Samael, Amalek, or the serpent, his role remains the same: to challenge holiness, spread falsehood, and disrupt the divine order. Yet, through the Torah and the righteous deeds of humanity, his power can be subdued and divine justice restored. The deeds of Samael and Cain. When Samael approached Eve, he cast a spiritual impurity, Zuhama, upon her. As a result, she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain, the progenitor of darkness and violence. Samael on the binding of Isaac. As Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it upon his son Isaac, carrying the fire and the knife, Samael appeared to him. He said, old man, have you lost your mind? The son given to you at the age of 100, are you truly going to slaughter him?" Samael argued vehemently, presenting reasons to dissuade Abraham from his obedience. But the patriarch remained steadfast, unmoved by Samael's words. Frustrated, Samael turned to Isaac, attempting to stir rebellion in his heart. He said, "Child of despair, do you not see? Your father intends to slaughter you." But Isaac, instead of faltering, turned to his father and said, "Father, my father." The repetition of the word father reflects the rising tide of mercy that filled the scene. Isaac then said, "Here is the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the offering?" Even in this moment, his faith in his father and the divine plan did not waver. Samael in the womb of Rebekah. When Jacob and Esau struggled within Rebekah's womb, Samael sought to destroy Jacob before he was born. However, Michael, the archangel, stood against Samael to protect Jacob. The celestial clash grew so intense that the Holy One, blessed be He, convened a heavenly tribunal to intervene and restore balance. Samael wrestling Jacob. The man who wrestled with Jacob until dawn was none other than Samael, the guardian angel of Esau. This battle was not merely physical, but a confrontation between divine destiny and the forces of opposition. Samael and the Exodus. When Israel left Egypt, Samael rose to accuse them before the Holy One. Blessed be He, he argued, Master of the universe. These people have worshipped idols until now, and you intend to split the sea for them. To counter Samael's claims, God delivered Job, one of Pharaoh's advisors, into Samael's hands. This act both placated Samael and maintained divine justice. Samael and Amalek. When Moses observed Amalek's attack on Israel, he discerned through his wisdom that Samael had descended from above to aid Amalek's forces below. Samael sought to exploit Amalek as his earthly instrument of destruction. Samael and Moses' death. When the time came for Moses to pass from the world, God commanded Samael to take his sword. Samael descended, drawing his sword, and stood before Moses. But Moses, filled with divine strength, rebuked Samael. "Do you think you can intimidate me?" Moses wielded his staff, inscribed with the divine name, and struck Samael with all his might, causing him to flee. He chased Samael, striking him again, and even managed to strip Samael of his radiance and blind him in one eye. Samael and the 10 martyrs, when the Holy One, blessed be He, decreed that 10 righteous sages would be delivered to the Roman Empire for execution, Samael rejoiced. He declared, "I have defeated Michael, the great prince. The scales tip in my favor." God's wrath burned against Samael for his arrogance and cruelty. The Holy One offered him a choice. Samael either release the 10 sages from their fate or accept eternal leprosy in the world to come. Samael, defiant and unrepentant, chose to uphold the decree against the sages, accepting the divine punishment upon himself. In response, God summoned Metatron, the great scribe of heaven, and commanded, "Write and seal this judgment. 6 months of leprosy, boils, jaundice, and grievous afflictions upon the wicked nation of Edom." The removal of Samael from the world. Samael was cursed after his transgressions to serve as the guardian of Edom's wickedness. However, in the future, when the Holy One, blessed be He, uproots the dominion of Edom, Samael will be the first to fall, as it is written, "Hashem will punish the host of the lofty ones on high." The judgment of Samael. From the side of the left, there is a fiery coal referred to as Yod, representing divine retribution. With this coal, the Holy One will exact vengeance upon the nations of Ishmael and Edom, whose destructive fires burn with foreign flames fueled by impure waters. Their appointed guardians, Samael, the fiery overseer of Gehinnom, and the serpent who governs Ishmael, will also be judged. Samael as the prince of Esau, and the serpent as the ruler over Ishmael, both serve Rahab, the angelic minister of the turbulent waters. However, in the time to come, divine retribution will unfold through 2 messianic figures, the right side representing Abraham and the attribute of Hesed, kindness, will exact vengeance upon Ishmael and his angelic guardian. The left side, representing Isaac and the attribute of Gevurah, fear, will deliver retribution upon Esau and his guardian, Samael. These 2 messianic figures, Messiah ben David from the right and Messiah ben Joseph from the left, will work in harmony to bring justice. Tiferei Israel, the beauty of Israel, will join this judgment, targeting the mixed multitudes, Erev Rav, who are intertwined with both Edom and Ishmael. The Song of Redemption. The ultimate defeat of Samael and his forces will be marked by a new song, the Song of Songs, greater than any other melody. It will arise when Samael and all his appointed agents are eradicated from the world. This is the moment foretold in the Torah. Then Moses will sing, not sang, as it is written in the future tense, indicating a prophecy yet to be fulfilled. The Holy One will then confront Samael, saying, "What can you repay for the blood of Israel that you have spilled? Egypt shall be desolate, and Edom for the violence against the people of Judah, whose innocent blood was shed in the land." Samael will be humiliated and driven into panic. He will flee to Bozrah, mistakenly believing it to be a city of refuge, as it is written, but to Bozrah in the wilderness. However, the Holy One will pursue Samael to Bozrah, declaring, "Wicked one, you are mistaken. You confused Bozrah with Betzer, the city of refuge, but justice will prevail, as it is also written, if a man schemes to kill his neighbor deceitfully, he shall not escape." Samael's final judgment. The Holy One will deliver Samael into the hands of Michael, who will bind him in iron chains and hand him over to Israel. Samael, stripped of his dominion and power, will be judged by the very people he sought to destroy. Bound and powerless, his fate will rest in their hands, to be done with as they see fit. As we come to the end of this deep exploration into the forces that shape our world, I hope the mysteries we've uncovered today have brought you closer to understanding the powerful duality between light and darkness and the cosmic struggle that continues to unfold. May the teachings of this sacred knowledge guide you toward wisdom, strength, and the light of truth in all things. May you be blessed with clarity in your spiritual path and with the courage to face the challenges that come your way. May your heart remain open to divine insight, and may the light of truth always illuminate your journey. If you found this journey enlightening, I invite you to continue your exploration of the mystical and spiritual realms with us at Restoration of the Bridge, right here on YouTube. Led by Yira Ha'ari, we delve even deeper into sacred knowledge, revealing hidden truths and wisdom from the ancient texts. Join our growing community of seekers. Together, we will continue to restore the sacred and reveal the path of divine enlightenment. Shalom, and until next time.